Many people know it's not been a particularly, well, shall we say, kind year to Catherine, the Princess of Wales. Difficult times as one can imagine. And of course, it's even more difficult, isn't it, when new problems come to the fore and you have to deal with them, particularly when you're not feeling at your absolute best. We've all been there, right? You struggle through, you think, well, I'll keep going, all that sort of stuff. But it's even more difficult, of course, when your world, many people know, is on the public domain. As ever, let me explain. To see you, you all right? And by the way, this has just made me feel really ancient. Yes, imagine this, cast your mind back to 1975. I know you're not born, but the thing is, of course, 1975 was, well, particularly at this time of year over here in the United Kingdom, was a very big year for this particular man. That's right, the brilliant tennis player Arthur Ashe, the very first black person to ever win, of course, the Wimbledon Singles Championships. And when you think about it, you know, it's people don't realise, do they? Forget the colour and all that sort of stuff. Just the fact that he did it, incredible. And you know, I often look at that with sports people, like our very own Virginia Wade, when she won the women's title in 1977 of the Silver Jubilee. You know, it's a moment in time I don't think you're ever going to forget. And I was lucky enough to meet Arthur Ashe very briefly, actually, over at Sky Sports many years ago. Lovely man, very down to earth, sweet man as well. Yeah, you know what I mean? You kind of think you did that, but yet just really normal. It's all about that, isn't it? Normality. You have no choice sometimes, do you? But seriously, can you imagine 49 years ago? Seems not that long ago. Do you find things like that? I can see it very visually in my head, you know. I'm thinking, yeah, you know, but maybe it's because of the digital world we live in as well. You know, we can always relook at things, and so it doesn't seem that far away, does it? Yes, Arthur Ashe, congratulations once again. Wonderful. Now, what's interesting here is this. Obviously, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, as we know, is on a recovery programme and, you know, apparently having, as she said herself, the lady, good and bad days. Well, right now she's having something of a bad day, and this is all to do with her eldest child, Prince George. He's got to that age, ladies, you know what I mean? And this is the problem. This is the problem, isn't it, you see? As we know, Prince George really is one of those kids at the moment that wants to emulate his father. You know, you can see it, can't you? Dressing alike, posing the same way, even casually always looking the same. It's the adoration moment, isn't it, where you realise that your dad, in your mind, is, you know, absolute Superman, and nobody else can, of course, take his place. We've seen that when they go to the football together, all that sort of stuff. Catherine, though, is up in arms over this. That's right, here we have, of course, the Prince of Wales, Prince William, once again on his e-scooter, caught by a tourist inside Windsor Castle. Now, they've had battles about this before, Catherine and William, because she doesn't agree with it, thinks he's going to have a terrible accident, break his leg, all that sort of stuff. And she's not tempted to have a go, which is interesting because she's normally very sporty, as we know. But now this has filtered through to her eldest son, Prince George. And she apparently has said, you know, stiletto heel down, no, you're not having it, you're not going on it, you're not doing it. Apparently, though, this is always the way, isn't it? Apparently, though, the Prince of Wales, Prince William, thinks, well, there's nothing wrong with it. You know, he could teach him and it will be safer, do it inside the ground so he's not going to fall, all that sort of stuff. Catherine thinks no. Now, she's got a bit of backup, of course, from His Royal Highness. Now, she's also got a bit of backup, of course, from none other than His Majesty the King and Queen Camilla. They both think these are very dangerous things, and he's also looked at one of those things, is it called a hoverboard? Looks even more terrifying. And I wanted to share this with you because it's just kind of nice stories that you find that come out of side the palace walls, and you kind of think, now it just proves nobody's different, everybody's the same. Catherine's battling through, as I say, her own illnesses, and now she's having to battle through with her eldest son to make sure that in her eyes he doesn't come to any misfortune. But at some point, as we all know, she's going to have to relent, because behind their backs, no doubt, Prince George will be borrowing his father's e-scooter and learning it discreetly. Am I right? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.